BJ motherfucking covers. Thank you for coming on, brother.
hmm
Thank you for helping us launch this whole competition. I feel like this has been awesome. The gambling Twitter space just has eaten it up. It's been awesome and fun to watch. It wasn't awesome when we launched you though as a contestant and everybody
Yeah.
just came at our necks. Dude, I just want to talk about that. Like when you retweeted that, did you think it was gonna go like the way it did?
No, I didn't think it at all. I thought, free contests, chance to win money. I didn't see why people would care, but I mean, I get the background of why people would be like a little hesitant to be like, why are you letting BJ do this? He's recovering from a gambling addiction. It's kind of dumb, but I didn't expect the backlash. I thought, hey, it's not like I'm betting the picks. Like you guys said, you don't have to bet the plays. You're just posting plays, tracking it. I think it's kind of fun. And truthfully, I think it's kind of a fun way to like, as someone that's not betting on the games right now, it's kind of fun to, have action and you don't even have money on it. So for me,
Yeah.
it's been fun, man. I get the backlash though, but I think at the end of the day, if I'm not betting and I'm just posting plays, I don't really see the issue with it.
Yeah, 100%.
Uh, Let me just ask this right away because I'm always so
Yeah.
curious. Okay.
Yeah.
So I've been in this gambling space for fucking ever. I like used to work for DraftKings. I worked at a casino for a long time, and I've just been involved in this world for like over 10 years now, which is so fucking crazy. But like when you said you had a gambling problem, right?
Yeah.
Because I had my own issues way back in the day, right? And I could go on and on about the issues that I had. So I like to sometimes
Mhm.
just compare. So not, if you feel comfortable, you
Oh,
don't
no,
have
shoot
to
away,
So
dude.
but
I'll
salty.
answer whatever,
I
man.
just have to know, like when you say you had a gambling problem, like what were
Yeah.
what were some of the things you were doing where you're like, holy fuck? Like when you look back at it, you're like, holy fuck, that
I,
was insane.
I think the biggest thing was just chasing losses and not necessarily like chasing like 4 a.m. tennis. That's not really what I was doing, but just like kind of, maybe you take something on the NBA 7 o'clock main slate, it loses, and then you're looking live at like games you would have never even thought about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm looking at some Clippers Jazz matchup, like, oh shit, the Jazz are up 3 points. Maybe I can get my money back. You know what I mean? Just
Mhm.
just doing dumb stuff like that, just chasing. And I think like, you know, just times where it's so easy to deposit like a shit ton of money, right? So it's like
Yeah.
you lose 5K. If you want to get 10K back into a sports book, it takes 10 seconds, right? Like if you have
Yeah.
to go drive to a book, it's a little bit different. You know what I mean? Now you really got to think about it. But when you're in the heat of the moment, you're stressed out, you lost a bunch of money, you just tap
Yeah.
2 buttons, you got 10K in your account, and then you know what I mean? So
100%. So, what was like that one bet that you look back on and you're like, I can't believe I fucking did that. It was so stupid.
well,
Because we all have like that one
yeah,
moment. Because I have that
yeah.
moment and I can tell you what it was and it was fucking horrible. So, what was that like one moment for you?
I don't know if I necessarily have like one moment,
Yeah.
but I could say a day. And it
Okay.
was
There
I
you go.
had like 60, 70K in my bet online account, right? And I had
You
just
said
gotten back
60?
60 or 70K in my bet online
God
account,
damn.
yeah. And
Okay.
I had just gotten back from a trip out in LA, right?
Yeah.
So like I was kind of like, well, dude, I just made all the money I possibly spent on that trip just betting on college basketball that whole trip. Then I get back, lose a couple bets. This all happens in one day.
Yeah.
I lose a couple bets. So then the next day I wake up, it's at like 40-ish K, right?
Yeah.
Lose that entire 40K in this day.
Oh my
I'd go to
God.
deposit 30K through Bitcoin, and then it gets so deep that I lose that 30K. I try to deposit another 20K, and they're like, well, you've already bought too much Bitcoin today. You can't send. You know what I mean? Like, I know
Yeah.
crypto has like a lot of limits with it, right? So I'm sitting here Googling, like, it got that bad to where I'm Googling which crypto sites have no limits. And then I'm just going to random crypto sites, praying that they're not scams, just depositing and depositing. I ended up losing the 40K and a 50K that I deposited. So like
How
90K in a day. And
how
that's
long
like
ago was this?
this was in 20, it was either 2021 or 2022.
So you were like
I don't remember
23,
exactly.
24?
Yeah, I was like 24 at the time. Yeah.
How
Yep.
did you have that much money at 24?
So, so I had just saved a lot of money, right, from working. Like when I was in high school and like when I was doing community college, I just saved up a bunch of money, had like 100K liquid. I used to sell shoes all the time, clothing, just like flipping stuff,
It's like
working,
hustling.
saving
Yeah.
up. Exactly, yeah. And then a lot of it was like I would say like around 50K of it was through betting, and then I was selling plays, making like 15K a month. I had sponsorships from MGM. I was doing videos for a company called BMR Reviews. Sorry for the shout out to them, but I was doing videos for them, and
I kind of
yeah, it
remember.
just
Who were they?
they're just like a, I don't really, it's like
I feel
pretty
like
much
I've
like
heard
a
of them.
site that like reviews offshore sports books.
Gotcha.
So I
Okay.
was doing like NBA videos for them daily. So I was making money from that, making money from MGM, and then I was making money from selling plays. So, that's pretty much how I got to having that much money. And then in that day, I lost like half of what I had liquid. And then
That's
I just started
fucking
freaking out
insane.
and spiraling from there. Yeah.
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 That's insane. I mean, before we move on, I do want to say, like, credit to you, bro, for being able to be like, holy fuck, this is fucking up my life. Because I'm
Yeah.
not gonna cap. Like, I got there one time, like a really long time ago, but it was because I just didn't know what I was doing. Like, I didn't know anything
Hmm.
about anything. And then COVID happened. You know what COVID fucking did to a lot of us. I mean, I literally still have PTSD from the Rocket game because I used to play that game every single day. I swear to God, I'd
Oh,
wake
yeah,
up in the
yeah.
morning and I would put so much money on the Rocket.
So
And
Is
insane.
it was
that's
insane how
Crash,
much.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Crash,
yeah.
right?
I
Yeah,
don't even like to
yeah,
say the name of it because it's the worst
yeah.
game ever created in the history of gambling. But then yeah, like when I kind of hit that point too, like a similar point that you hit where I was just literally losing like everything on the dumbest shit. I
Hmm.
Instead of really me quitting, I kind of just decided one day, I got to lock down and figure out how to do this because when I worked at the sports book, you see some guys always winning or winning more than they're losing. Like
Hmm.
it's not like it wasn't like a fucking fairy tale. Like I see it every single day. So I basically just locked down and I was asking all these guys like a million questions a day. And then I kind of just converted to almost, okay, like once I got out of the hole and then realized, oh, this is how you can actually do it and make it successfully. Basically, we created sobet like a couple years later after I finally like really was like locking everything in. And then it was like it turned into me. Like the whole reason I started my TikTok and everything was to literally teach people how to sports gamble. Like it wasn't even to just give out picks. Like I was giving out picks, but it was basically to teach people how to like control their bankroll. Because
Yeah, yeah.
so many people, because on the flip side, you know how many times just working at a sportsbook, I literally had people come up to me and like ask me for $5. Like I'm working at the sportsbook and they'd be like, yo, like I just need $5 for gas to get home. Like I've got nothing. I had a lady come up to me and show me her bank account. Dude, it was insane.
Dude.
She showed me her bank account and it was like negative $428. And I still remember, like, it's like seared into my brain where I'm like, don't know what to tell you. Not a charity. Like, can't give you gas money.
That's
You know,
insane.
it's like, so gambling world is so crazy. And I mean, I know that you fucking,
Yeah.
you had to lose a lot to like really learn, but I just want to say, like, credit to you, bro, for, getting
Last
through it.
last question
Yeah,
I have,
100%.
and then we can move on to competition stuff and like more fun stuff. But how did you work through it? Like, did you ask people for help, or like what were kind of the steps you took? And then how are you doing now? Are you like in a lot better place?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So like how I got through it honestly was just, I had help. Like the thing that was a blessing for me is I have such a good family that's always like down to back me up, you know what I mean? So they really helped me with that. I had friends spot me money. I mean, I was getting in bad spots, dude, asking friends for money. Family members, my dad, if I asked him for money, oh, no problem. It's all good. You got it. But like you ask a friend for money, they want it back, right? And then it's like, if you don't have an income and you're betting and you're just losing the money they send you, you get in a tough spot, man. So
Yeah.
I did have a lot of support to get through it. I'm still trying to get through it to this day, man. Like you said, are you doing better now? I'm doing a lot better now for sure. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, I think my problem is I went from 15K a month income, almost 200K liquid to being like, wow, like I'm selling plays, I'm getting sponsorships. All I'm doing is posting content, posting plays, and I can make this amount of money. So I thought that was like a forever thing, right? I started betting more money. I started buying more stuff, spending my money stupid. And like, besides betting, I've always been great with my money, right? Like, I'm not like one to like, I'm the type of guy that goes out and I'm like, $12 for Chipotle. Like, do we have like a coupon? Like, can we get it for 10? So, like, I'm good with my money in that regard, but I'm doing a lot better with it, man. Honestly, like, everyone always kind of gets on me, right? They're like, well, why are you still in the industry? Like you did all this and you lost all this money and you have this problem. And I'm like, well, the thing is, man, is I love the industry, truthfully. Like, even if I'm not betting per se, it's just something I'm passionate about and it's something I want to be into. So, I'm doing a lot better as of now. You know what I mean? I haven't bet since January 8th. That's the last time I placed a bet.
Nice.
Um, you know, has the temptation been there? Yeah, for sure. Because, you know, I think the addiction part of it for me comes into play where it's like I've seen myself make X amount of money in a week. And then, you know, you think you can always do that again, right? So it's kind of just
Yeah.
like that chase to be like, well, I've made 20K in a week. Why can't I do it again? But then when you don't got the funds to do it and you got 2K to your name and you're betting 500 a game, it's, you know, you run out of money quick. So I've just been trying to stay in the industry, stay off the sports books, depositing. I mean, honestly, dude, not to shout out Elf, but dude, the spaces have really gave me a lot of knowledge, man, which is like seeing
Elf
there's
blazing.
actually, well, just seeing there's actual guys out there that really do make money. And they're
Yeah.
not just watching the games and being like, oh, well, I know the whole OKC Thunder starting lineup and I watch all their games, so I'm gonna bet on their game. They're actually doing stuff behind the scenes with technology, softwares. So just seeing that there's actual ways to win made me realize, well, damn, like this whole time I've been doing this, I'm just throwing up darts. Like, yeah, I watch the games, I know a lot about it, but you know, long term, you're never gonna win if you just know about basketball.
That's literally insane because what you just said is like exactly what I said.
Yeah.
Like when I had a really
Yeah.
bad problem, it was before I worked at the sports book. And then when I was
Yeah.
working at the sports book, I was like, holy fuck, these same guys are
Mhm.
consistently winning. And then
Yeah.
everybody else is losing. And then that's when it just sparked my brain. I was like, holy fuck, this is actually real. And then
Yeah.
basically we just talk to those guys all the time. So that's crazy that like, you know.
Yeah,
like,
I worked actually at FanDuel too, man, in the casino.
oh, yeah,
And
there
dude,
you
you
go.
see some wild stuff, so I can
Yeah.
relate to that for sure, man. I mean,
Exactly.
I've seen guys dropping down 250K in cash on the table in front of me, and I
Mhm.
got to go money count, and I'm like,
Fuck yeah.
it's
Yeah.
you see some crazy stuff, man. You definitely do.
Dude, what's been great, like on that note of people winning, what's been awesome about this competition style is that you
Yeah.
see these people who are putting out just insanely sharp action every single bet. How the platform works is we're not limiting people to one book, right? It's like we're just giving people ultimate optionality. So it's like
Mhm.
if that play exists, it counts. You know what I mean? Like if that edge exists in the market, we're going to count it. Be More EV gets an edge on every single pick he posts on Sobet. Like it's just a
Yeah.
profitable strategy. You
Yeah,
know what
no,
I
it
mean? Like
is
he's getting a
100%.
5 to 12% edge on every single play he
Mhm.
posts. And that's like so cool to me because when we started this, like we were trying to basically fix the pick selling ecosystem and show people that you could win and make it more fun in that like you're competing against other people and you're trying to be the best. And that was like the whole premise behind the company. And we've kind of twisted and turned, but it's never been more evident than this competition that ecosystem starting to evolve, which is so fucking cool. And like to Gutsy's point, like if this competition was there when you were, you know, a degenerate, you just like would have been on the app and been like, oh, dude, this dude's up
Yeah.
so much. Like, what's he doing?
Yeah.
Like, and you start to like tail his plays and like do things like he's
sure.
doing, and all of a sudden, like now you're a positive EV better and you're profitable better. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
that's been so cool. So appreciate you, you know, being a big part of that and like seeing
Oh
this
yeah,
ecosystem
100%.
come together.
Yeah, no,
How have your bets done in the competition?
they're
Picks.
they're doing
Picks.
pretty good. I'm like,
Picks.
yeah,
Picks.
picks. I haven't bet any for anyone that's gonna say that I
Just
did. I have
yeah,
not.
I just know that someone will take that out and be
Picks.
like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, yeah. But no, they've been good. I think I'm like 12-6 right now. I got a few pending. It's been fun, man. Like I like the community side of it, dude. Like I think there's really hasn't been an app that has like a community of people betting, in my opinion. Like, right? There's apps that keep up with scores, stuff like that, and there's kind of communities in those. But there hasn't really been one where it's just people posting picks. You got sharp guys, you got normal guys that are just betting. You know what I mean? So I think the community side of it's great, man. And my picks have been doing decent, dude. Like I don't think I'm gonna place top 10, but you know, it's fun at the end of the day. So
The
who
hell
knows?
confidence is that? You got 3 weeks
Well,
left,
I
BJ.
just
All you
see
need
these
is one
guys
good
with like
month.
30 units, and I'm like, well,
Oh,
geez,
see,
dude, I'm at like
BJ.
4. This
See,
is
I'm not kidding, BJ. We just me and him were just talking last night about it,
yeah,
and I'm like, because the new week starts tomorrow,
yeah,
so I'm like, bro, I'm changing up my whole strategy. Like this next week, I'm going to fire probably 100 something units. I don't know
Yeah,
exactly
yeah,
how
yeah.
many, but I'm going to just fire next week.
That's
yeah.
what I
You
think is
got
the
to,
winning
you got
Yeah,
strategy.
to.
yeah, yeah. It's like I do like that part of it too, of how it's like it gives us another option to not bet sports, but to like pick on
Compete.
sports games,
Yeah.
right? Because like now I it's a strategy. Like I can't just do my normal like how I try to make money sports betting
Hmm.
with the pick competition. That comes down to strategy. You got to have a different strategy. You got to have a thought process going into what you're going to do. So I'm changing everything next week. You might have to do the same, BJ.
Yeah,
So
no,
I
I've been starting to do the same, honestly. I've been firing like 8 plays a day the past
That's-
2 days.
yeah.
I say this to Elf all the time. I'm like, man, it would be electric to have some of these characters that hop into space every day in a room sweating games out
yeah.
live. You know what I mean? Like, it
Yeah.
would be electric, dude. Like, I would pay money to see freaking MPB and Man of the Library in the same room on opposite sides of a football game.
Well, dude,
sweating it out.
another thing, I was talking to Elf
That
about
would be
that too. I was like, we should get all them in the competition, like the big competition in September. So, like, just in case like MPB wins, like it would be electric.
It would be something. It would be something. It
but
would
I,
really
I was kind of
people
pitching this to
going.
Elf too. I was like, picture like the 7-day competitions, right? You have 17 winners during the football season. And that 7-day competition gets you into a live finale during the Super Bowl where it's like for $500,000. And like that's a live in-person event in like Vegas where we get like all these content creators out there and like, you know, hopefully a couple of those winners are content creators and it just turns into this massive event, which I think would be really cool.
Yeah,
And
no,
like
that's a
nothing like
great
that
idea,
really
man.
exists. It's like kind of taking, you know, the circa millions and Gen Z-ifying it, if you
no,
will.
That's a good way to put it. That's a good way to put it, Bryce.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of L spaces, who are your top 5 power rankings?
Top 5 power rankings. I'm going number 1 is Jeff Nadeau. That's
Okay.
my 1.
All right. That's
My number
strong.
2 is Man of the Library, I would say.
Strong too. Man of the Library has been cracking me up.
He's been skyrocketing up the charts too, I feel like.
Yeah,
wanna-
Library, he just speaks so eloquent, dude. It's like he could be the biggest scammer on the world and he would make you believe that he's the best person to ever touch Earth. So
And he
that's why
also
he's
has
still-
like the right amount of like being a dick in his voice that's like makes it funny. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I think that's actually
100%.
what really got me during that space with him and Kessler.
3, I guess you got to go Man of the Vig just for the balancing act. Like, do I like the guy a lot? Not really, but just for the spaces, I think he's good because if you just had everyone agreeing and you know what I mean, so I
Yeah.
think he kind of breaks it up a little bit. So I'd go 3 with Man.
Does
of the
anyone
Vig.
know who he is? Like actually?
I mean, there was like a speculation that he was some guy named Nick, and everyone was like spamming Nick, DMing him, saying like, "We know who you are," blah blah blah. They were pulling up clips. I mean, their voices sound identical. I don't know if you guys seen, but he actually hopped in a space sometime this week with Man of the Vig on. So it was Nick and Man of the Vig
Wow.
both together, and they were doing
Wow.
like tests, like speak at the same time, like all this type of stuff, and yeah, it was pretty crazy, but
Wow.
they confirmed it was not him. So yeah.
Okay,
That's
so we
crazy.
don't know.
And then I'd say maybe 4. I guess you got to throw MPB on there just for the craziness aspect. I mean, it starts to get old after a while, in my opinion, but like it's just every time it's fun.
Dude, he's just got to
everyone.
reel it in. Like if he reels it in, he's a global superstar. Sir
Yeah.
Sean, like that whole thing was so, dude, the bit is so good. Like it's such a funny bit. If
Yeah,
he just
it
reels
is.
it
It
in and
is.
like cuts out the racist shit, cuts out the women slander, like just sticks to the bit,
I
it's
couldn't have done it better
hilarious.
myself. He just needs to reel it in. Once he just hones in like the
Yeah,
funny
just
shit,
stick with the bit. The bit is
like,
funny.
No one really thinks that like racist shit is funny. You
Nah.
can just say racist shit and people are just gonna all think it's hilarious. Like
It's over.
just hone it in, buddy. And who's bringing up the rear? Who's 5?
The 5, I would go with Spanky. And the reason I'll say this is just
Yeah.
because Spanky's like the sharpest guy that joins, in my opinion, like the sharpest guy that's in the space. And then you got all these guys that clown him every night. They don't even know who he is. Some do, and they're clowning him. Like he's some losing better, like talking bad about touts.
Yeah.
And, you know, he just stands tall and defends himself, dude. I just think it's just funny to me that guys are coming in there trolling Spanky.
I'll
when
be honest,
Spanky's so well respected.
I met Spanky like I think 3 years ago now. I went to
Yeah.
Bet Bash. I think it was like the first Bet Bash, maybe. It might have been the first Bet Bash. I went to the first Bet Bash or whatever. Met him out there. I thought he was a cool guy. I had no problem with Spanky.
Oh,
It's just funny to me having a guy like MPB and Spanky on the panel at the
I
same
know.
time.
I know.
Funny,
I
dude.
know.
It's just like 2 different worlds of people.
BJ, do you have anything to say to the elf spaces? I mean, that's gonna be the majority of the people watching us. So do you have like something that you just want to tell them or like
Statement.
a statement?
A statement.
Well, my statement for the elf spaces, dude, is just, you know, a lot of people like to troll it and get on Elf and say, oh, you're doing such a bad job. But I mean, this dude's got characters ranging from all sorts of spectrums and gambling. It's hard to keep up with it, man. It's hard to silence people. You know, he's doing his best getting big guests. And you guys got to realize, everyone that's listening, I mean, this is new. It's all new to him. I mean, it's not like he's been doing this for 10 years. It's a new thing. He's getting big guests. I mean, he had Mickey Mace. You know what I mean? He just had Dave Mason. He had Measy, Cash Out King. I mean, like, it's only going to get bigger and bigger with the guests. I always tell him, I'm like, man, at the end of the day, you just got to keep building connections with people and, you know, keep making content. People are going to come to it, man.
No, yeah, I think he's doing a phenomenal job. It's
Yeah, I
been fun.
think big message, I think, just is everyone's just got to relax a little bit on him. You know what I mean? Like the whole glazing and simping on Amanda Vance. I mean, dude, it's content at the end of the day. The dude's trying to make it big. He's trying to have a platform. You got to do what you got to do.
Facts. Consider it
100%.
myself.
A statement from BJ Covers.
A
Yep.
statement from BJcovers, but all right,
Yep.
appreciate you
Appreciate
coming
you.
on, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
thank you, brother.
Respect, guys.
Good luck
Yeah.
with the rest of the competition.
Yeah, 100%. Hopefully, I'm in the top 10 after today. We'll see.
See, see.
Best of luck.
Well,
man.
can I say? Hey, I tell you what, we'll see you up there next week. All right, me and you be up there together.
Yep. I'll be there. I'll be there.
All right.
Appreciate
see
you,
brother.
bro.
All right, boys. Talk to you.